Hey guys, this is SCVspacebubb. Today I'll be casting a 1 versus 1 between me, the blue Terran spawning on the right hand side, and a red Terran called Souksouk. I'm gonna call him Red, because I don't know how to pronounce his name properly. So against red Terran here, who's spawned on the left hand side. This is TvT, and I've decided to cast it because I found it generally fun all around. So yeah, I found it really good. Well, maybe not really good, but really entertaining. It was quite a fun game to play, and I think that it is quite a good replay as well. So as you can see, I built my supply depot as all other players, Terran players normally do, at 910 supply, and I made it a bit earlier than my opponent, so I'm just building it here in my base, because versus Terran it is not worth it to actually set a wall, because these buildings would potentially get sniped, and if you have, let's say, barracks, I don't know, 2 barracks and a supply depot, or barracks and 3 supply depots, you could get supply cut, and this wall, in the later games, the wall does nothing anyway. So I'm sending my scout here, his opponent is sending his scout, and I'm also building my racks. So I'm 13, 19, I did make them at 11, 12, so I'm having the earlier, as you can see here on the progress bar, I am having the early barracks. My opponent does have a bit earlier gas, so we're both going for pretty standard opener with 1 gas, 1 rack, and the command center, of course. So I'm just making sure I saturate this gas. I'm having 2 harvests on the sofa, and just making sure I'm not wasting any SCVs by just leaving them around. So I do have the second gas coming up, and I'm just working on all my SCVs. If I go to my opponent, he is actually going to my base right now. And as we can see, the opponent's also just going for exactly the same. He has 3 harvests here. He's making 1 marine. And here comes my scout. And his scout did go in. He did see that I was building up my second gas. My 1 gas was up. So he did see spot more or less everything that was going on in my base. However, at this time, early scouting doesn't really do much because you can't really see. Unless you're going for a rush, you won't actually be able to see the tactics. You need to scout later on in the game as well. So I suppose that's why he's leaving his SCV here. He doesn't leave him in a corner. He leaves him right in the middle to the entrance to my ramp. And I'm just making sure I'm trying to navigate past this marine here. And he gets trapped between 2 marines and he does die. But I did see this orbital command center, which was just made. And there we go, we can see the mule did go down straight away. He is making this factory and the tech lab to his barracks. So we might see some tanks, marine marauders probably, since I don't see. There we go, there is second gas, so he might be potentially going a bit later banshees. I'm going for my factory as well. I do have this double gas working, and if I go to income tab, we can see that I do have one more harvester, but his mineral income is bigger because he has the mule. So yeah, I do also have more people on gas than on minerals, so his income will be bigger for now. I am not making any SCVs because when the orbital command center is morphing, as I say, well, it says here morphing, while I'm transforming my command center to the orbital command center, I'm not actually able to make any SCVs. So there we go, I was able to get my late orbital command center, and I am also calling down my mule. And I'm making 2 starports, and I am making 2 tech labs, which should tell any Terran player straight away I'm going for banshees. So yeah, I'm going for my banshees. I'm also going for the Excel Navaga towers, because at this point I am completely defenseless. And I do want to see if there's any kind of push coming in. There are 4 marines here, there's also Hellions, so well, there's actually 5 marines here and a Hellion, which could potentially be trouble if they do decide to move out. There we go, I'm just letting my buildings up a bit earlier, and just making sure I switch them all around. I'm at 22 out of 27 supply, while my opponent is at 30 to 35 with 21 harvesters. So we can see that he does have the advantage here, and he does move out with his units. So there you go, these Marines are moving out. This Hellion, with its speed being so much bigger, is more or less inside my base. There is no wall to stop it, so you're just gonna be able to just walk in the base, which is not an ideal situation for me to win, since I got no troops. Like I said, I'm just queuing up one Banshee because I am supply blocked and I'm not able to actually get enough for the second Banshee to get out. I'm actually pulling my SCVs off the line in a nice row for him. I don't know why I'm doing this. It's a really bad micro by me, and they are just going to die. I'm also having one Marine trying to counter this. I did lose these 4 SCVs, which is not good. And it's also an incoming of Marines. They didn't actually stem. They do have this stem upgrade, but he doesn't actually stem them just yet. He's finishing his siege tech, and my Banshee is nearly complete, so this could potentially give me the advantage. This Hellion did die after having 5 SCV kills, so it's really not good. I am having my Banshee come out right now, so another one goes down, and another SCV goes. There we go, I do have this Banshee. I'm just making sure I don't lose her, so I'm just trying to micro it away and trying to use the range, but I'm not doing that too well. They are actually stemming, but it is off the range, so there we go. This one Marine does manage to kill one. Because they are so low on health after the stem, then my second Banshee, which just popped out, was able to actually take it out. I do have the cloaking, on the way at least. It should be done in 20 more seconds, and I'm starting on my supply block by building another supply depot. I'm not building them strategically like my opponent has. I'm building them behind my supply lines, behind my mineral line, just to make sure that they are safe. If you build them like my opponent has here, if you build them around the edge, it is a lot better because you can actually see what's going on if there is any kind of drop or whatever coming in. But it also means that those buildings will get sniped first, and it could potentially be supply blocked. So that's have its pros and cons. When the opponent did see this Banshees, his reply was quite appropriate. He is actually going for the Vikings. So there you go. I'm just going into this base, trying to do some harassment. I didn't actually cloak them, so oh, bye bye Banshee. I still haven't cloaked my Banshee. There we go, I just cloaked it just now. And she's able to get 4 kills, which is pretty low for the Banshee. 5 kills for the Banshee, not good. So I'm just making even more Banshees for now. The people think that Banshees are good only as harassment units, but I have, from experience, I can say that those Banshees are really good against any ground units. They are really good anti-ground because they're just so powerful. We do see a command center game complete by my opponent. So we both trying to get an expansion secured. He builds his inside the base here. It's near you as you can see. And I got mine close to him here. You might think it's a bit cheeky because I'm building it right next to him. But I think it's better than having it on a natural, for example, because this natural is right by my ramp. So if he does go for attack and he does destroy this base, then in the attack he would also destroy my expansion. But if I have it here, then obviously I got some sort of a little chance to actually rebuild, or maybe just take my buildings up from here to the island, you know. There you go, I'm just making even more bunches right now. I do have this tech lab, and he is making his second orbital command. So he's actually making it here before actually moving it, so there you go. We see another barracks coming up, so he will be going on a 3-rack, plus factory with the tanks. My response to that is Banshees, and even more Banshees. So I am working on these 2 Banshees here. I'm also working on this starport with the reactor to make sure I can get some anti-air and get the Vikings of my own to counter the opponent. So this expansion did get finished, and I'm currently building on the refinery, having 5 SCVs queued up. He's not building up on this, he's just making the anti-ground turrets first. Getting 2 SCVs to actually do it. So don't know if that's actually worth wasting 2 SCVs to get that going. Personally, I wouldn't do that. I would just make 1 SCV to do them all. It will take longer, of course, but because these missile turrets do detect further than they shoot, this would actually be able to protect the whole base. not to shoot it down, but just detect. So the STEM Marines could potentially get a really good work of those Banshees. I'm actually moving out to my Banshees here and my two Vikings here. So there's also a big force coming out here. I did recontrol the towers. So I did part 1 one Marine here and one Marine here. So I'm actually able to see half the map, and I am actually able to see that this force is attacking. So there we go, we do see this whole army attacking, and I think this... Well, they were actually able to see it as well, so I did lose this tower. And I do have one more Marine here, so... I'm actually cloaked, so I'm able to just make a good work of these Banshees. Of course, I do have to micro them, so I do have to run away from the scans. I don't do it too well though, so I did lose 2 Banshees in the attack. And since I don't think they got enough energy for another scan, 20... Well, they do have enough energy for 2 scans actually on this base. He doesn't want to waste it though. Bit of a bad micro in here by my opponent. They did get stuck on the wall, so I was actually able to snipe one more unit than I should have been able to. There you go, there is 1 Viking here. But I got 2, so I'm obviously going to destroy it. There you go, bye bye Viking. I still got these 2 just standing around doing nothing. And I am moving those Banshees away, because even though I didn't move my Vikings, they did work as a distraction. I'm able to just make some more work out of those Marines. I made them waste 3 scans, which is just so many minerals. And there we go, I'm actually still able to use the advantage of the bigger range. Banshees got a range of 8, while they only got range of 5. And Banshees do have range of 5. No, 6, sorry, I was misreading. Banshees have a range of 6, while Marines got a range of 5. So they are able to out-micro them just about. So I'm slowly making up my army. I am going for pure air. As you can see, I got 3 starports. And this second expansion is slowly getting up. I did part 3 SCVs in the gas straight away, because Vikings and Banshees are gas expensive, 75 and 100, so I am making sure I do have my gas. And I'm also making tanks, so there we go. I think I did make the research. Yeah, I did make the research. So I got the siege tech, and I'm also making my first tank to make sure that this big Bible will get stopped by like a tank or 2. It won't get like killed, but it will just give them a few more casualties to make easier work for my Banshees. I'm not stopping to many those Banshees. They are my favorite unit in StarCraft 2. I don't know why. Maybe it's because they are the only offensive female pilot in the game, or maybe it's because they are just so totally awesome with the cloak. So they are cloak and flying units, and that just makes them awesome. So I do have my siege tank here. I did just siege him as well, so I got my ramp covered. And they're just making me more and more Banshees. There we go. I got 2 more in mech. I got another 6 coming out here. There we go. I don't know where I've sent them though. We can just forward from the menu up here. I'm just making more and more units, trying to make sure I do my macroing. I'm doing another tank here, and I'm supply blocked once again. I totally hate it. I'm getting my 2nd orbital command center as well here. But I gotta say that my opponent does seem to have a lot more. He's working only on 1 gas on both bases though. So I'm not sure why that is. If I go to income tab, you can see that he has 37 SCVs and I only got 31. So that could potentially be the winning factor here, because in TvT it could be quite a long game sometimes. Oh, bye bye tanks. We can just see how good they are. There is 6 Banshees here, just 2 shooting tanks. So whoa, boom boom. There you go. They did die. I don't know if I am coming back for this tank, but 1 Banshee must have missed her shot. And well, Banshees, what are you doing? Don't run into the Viking. This is not a good thing to be in. I'm actually running into the Marines as well. So I'm trying to fall back. I don't want to lose my Banshees. So I did lose 1 in attack, but he did lose 1, 2, 3. I think it was 4 tanks. So if I go 2 units lost, it's really even. It's an even game so far. It's 3,500 minerals to 3,300 minerals. So it's a pretty even game. I do have more Vikings than he has though, and I do have those Banshees. So I am going for these Tier 3, I think it is. Tier 3 units. And I'm just making my missile turret here to make sure that... I don't know why I actually build this. Just in case he goes for his own banshees. I don't actually want to get banshees myself, so... I'm supply blocked once more in the game. I think that I just don't know why I'm doing it all the time. But I do have my supply depot finishing. I'm at 92 out of 94, so I should be building another supply depot pretty soon. Which is right now. I am building on the second base. It's really important not to build everything in one base, because if that base goes down, I will be just so screwed with the supply depots. These two are actually armories, so we might see some thoughts coming from me. I don't know. I'm not gonna spoil it for you. You see, I'm just moving out and scouting with my Vikings here. They did go for this rich mineral field, as we can see. They did clear it, and they did build 4 missile turrets to ensure that this does happen. I didn't even notice when they built another 2 command centers. So we just said this command center is moving in here. There is one more command center not actually moving anywhere, so it's a bit of a mystery command center to me. Let's just follow on the map. I got another tank here, not sieged. And I am making just a few more Vikings, a few more Banshees. This tank is trying to be as awesome as his friend and shooting at range without actually sieging. We'll see how that goes. I'm trying to keep a constant production of all my units, so I do have a Thor, 2 Banshees, 2 Vikings, 2 Marines coming in, and one upgrades for the Banshees and Vikings. So it's the air weapons one and air armor one is coming up. My opponent on the other side is making a planetary fortress, which could be potentially effective against the Vikings, not so effective against Banshees. Siege planetary fortress does not shoot air. There we go. I'm supply blocked again, so I am making my supply depot, and my opponent is making 7 Marines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't know why he's building so many barracks, but no add-ons. He could potentially be making 14. And I am close. I'm just making sure I destroy this missile turret. And I don't actually destroy this reactor. It is burning, so it will burn slowly. I do want to make sure that... Well, it was actually a Raven, so I am just trying to make sure that whatever is coming out of this, because I don't know at this point what's coming out. But he is making the Raven to detect my Banshee, so I'm just making sure... Can he see me? Yeah, he can't see me because of this one turret, so I did actually move out of the way. So he did waste 1 most cannon and actually ran into an army of Marines. What am I doing? 1 Banshee down, 2 Banshees down, 3 Banshees down. And I'm actually standing up to fight. There's another scan coming down. They just got so much energy. He's not really muling well, is he? How many scans can he really get? There's enough energy for another one here. And that just proves how bad macroing my opponent actually is. He's not really using his mules effectively. But we also can see that there is a huge army of Vikings. Compared to his 3 Vikings, there is a little better Vikings here. And I still got 3 more Banshees, so I'm doing a pretty good job here. My 1-1 upgrades are getting finished. And my opponent is building up 2 more starports, so... There we go, 1 and 2, 2 more starports. We could see more Ravens, because he did go for those Ravens here. He didn't actually succeed making any. So we could potentially see one of those starports being for Vikings, and the second starport being for Ravens. Which would be bad news for me. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Vikings on the field. If I go to Units tab, we can see he has 9 Vikings overall. I got 12. I got 6 Banshees. He has none. He has 40 Marines, however. I only got 9. And, well, I do have 3 tanks. He has 1. So, I think army-wise, it's pretty much even. If we go to the army tab itself, we can see it's 122 to 115 supply. But he has more SCVs, so army-wise, it is pretty much even. If I go to production tab, we can see that there is a reactor getting dropped and attack lab. Like I said, so this will be for... probably for Ravens, and this will be for Vikings. So it could be decided in as a big air battle. He is making 1 Raven to make sure he can detect any of my potential Banshee harassments. And this miracle, mysterious, as I called it, this mysterious command center did drop to the island. He's not making anything out of it though. He's just standing there. I got 2 ship weapons 2 and ship plating 1 coming up. Ship plating 2, I'm sorry, and another siege tank. So I do have 1, 2, 3 siege tanks by the way, and another one coming up, and Thor. So I am trying to keep some sort of a small ground force just in case my air does fail. I've got another starboard coming in since I am working on 2 bases. I'm trying not to get over with minerals, but I am getting over with minerals anyway. So we can see that me and my opponent not really doing a good job macroing. There is 900 gas which could be spent right now. I could potentially be looking to make maybe battle cruisers right now. I don't know, just drop a fusion core somewhere, and I could potentially make out of these 3. I do have 2 bases working, but this gas is running out however, so not really working just yet. There's a big battle coming on here, just a pack of stemmed marines versus a pack of cloaked banshees. And the banshees are winning it, I think. Yeah, the banshees did actually overall win the battle. But there's only 2 survivors, so that's not really too good. I am losing all my troops in stupid ways. I mean, any smart player should know that you do not just attack a whole bunch of marines, stem marines with cloaked banshees. The only way you can attack is if you actually do see it, and I do have a Leroy Jenkins Viking here. Just try to Leroy Jenkins into this base, but these mass marines did make him into a cake. There we go. I'm actually scanning this expansion, I am able to see it. So I should be trying to go for a kill here, because there is a 3 kill expansion, there is nothing protecting it. And there you go, this SCV did go bye-bye. And this command center is going down. He did lift it off, but it still got 4 not landed, so I don't know if I can actually kill it. I'm not lifting off the Vikings, I don't know why I'm not doing that. The command center is burning, so it could potentially be over. Yep, this command center does go down. It's a 3 expansion kill, and that's really good. But I do see that he has 2 ravens. He is making another one, so he is slowly massing a bunch of ravens. And against my Vikings, that could be really bad if he does use those point defense drones. I'm supply blocked. I've only just noticed I'm actually supply blocked. So I do have this base here. I just built it, and I'm not working with it. There's some sort of attack coming in from my base here. I do have 1, 2, 3, 4 siege tanks, 1 unsiege tank, and also 1 Thor. Thor is here. There we go. So these marines among those are dying to the splash damage. I do have a few more banshees coming up though. So those siege tanks can shoot at range of 13, but they can't actually look that far. So if you do have some air units, it's really good to actually be able to use that to be actually give them a full shooting range. I'm sieging my 5th tank, and I think even if this whole force of marines mountains did try to go in, they'll all probably die. So I am in a pretty good defensive situation right now. I'm having a 3 weapons 3 and plating 3 coming in for my air units. So I'm going for 3-3 upgrades here. I got this big bunch of troops just lying around not being used, which is not good. So there you go. If I go to the point drone, it does cost quite a lot. It costs 100 energy, so it's not that cheap. But I don't see the research for the Seeker missile. There you go, that's the Seeker missile. It does quite a nice bit of damage. If you have mass ravens and you just set this off on like a bunch of marines, they're all just gonna die. So we do see some sort of a push coming in from the red opponent here. And my defense it doesn't look bad. I do have those 5 tanks, I do have this 4, and my expansion did fly over to here because I mined out my main. So there you go, he is trying to move in here. I did manage to snipe a few of those Vikings, but there you go, like I said, this point defense drone could potentially be trouble for me because my Vikings will not be able to shoot. So it doesn't have a lot of health, it only has 70 health itself. And are they going to go try for my main base? No, they're not. I do have this 4 though, so There you go. They're just throwing down the towers to make sure I die from the splash damage, I suppose. The splash damage is all greater to non-target, not armored units, and they are considered armored. They do have armor 1. And this for with range of 7, nope, range of 10 is also making quite nice work. So I am actually able to snipe a few troops here. With these tanks getting even bigger range, they're actually able to shoot off some of these marines here. He is forced to fall back because he doesn't have a place to actually drop them in due to his